Good afternoon, everybody, and I hope you're having a great weekend. A lot of you have been asking me about the diet that one needs to follow apart from doing yoga. Now, I am not a dietitian, I am not a nutritionist, but in the beginning of the year, I decided to go vegan after the videos that I saw, the cruelty that is done to animals in the dairy industry, in the poultry, in the meat industry. And it was really heartbreaking, which is why I decided to go vegan. Although I love my milk, I love my chas, and I couldn't live without it. But I still decided to do this for animals that deserve to live a good life. And because of our increasing population, we are putting a lot of stress on them, abusing them, and their whole life becomes a living hell because of our demands, and which is why I decided to go vegan. The challenge that I'm going to initiate for the next 1 week is called Close to Nature Challenge, where we are going to have a plant-based diet for the next 7 days. Not just vegan. Vegan, of course, means free from dairy and free from animal products, but then if you see, there are a lot of alternatives that are vegan, but they are loaded with calories and preservatives. So we are going to follow a plant-based diet where we are going to have organic fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, pulses. There are so many options and so many recipes also that are available on Sharan India's website, so you can check that out. Preferably organic fruits and vegetables if you can get. I know it's difficult in times of lockdown, but stick to only plant-based alternatives. So how do you know whether a particular food is plant-based? Now, if I sow ragi into soil, it's going to reproduce. If I sow apple seeds into the soil, they are going to reproduce. So this is how, but if you sow a burger into the soil, it's not going to reproduce. So that is how you need to identify the kinds of fruits, the kind of foods that you need to eat and what you shouldn't. Now, a lot of people say that milk, but how do you get your calcium? You're kind of compromising on your calcium intake because you're not having milk. Now, let me tell you that our cow milk has, if the points are 120 for calcium, Rajgira has 267 points. Figs have 126. Sesame has 1160. Apricots have 67, almonds have 234, tofu has 128, chickpeas has 150. So those are the kind, if we are getting so much nutrition from all these alternatives, why do you need to have cow milk at all? I'm not going to make, give you a lecture and turn you into a vegan, but all I ask is for the next 7 days, if you can give up dairy, and just see the change for yourself, because the milk that we get, if you didn't know, has 6 dangerous things. You know what they are? The first is pus and bacteria. Yes, with all, do you really think that those people who take the milk from the cow are really going to lovingly take the milk? No, the instruments, those equipment is fixed onto the cows and milk is extracted out of them, and in the process there's a lot of pus and bacteria that comes out. The cows bleed sometimes because of, we are abusing their bodies in a way that they can no more give any more milk. They are injected with antibiotics. Almost 80% of the antibiotics that are produced in the world are injected into animals, and which is why our bodies are becoming more and more antibiotic resistant, and that is a bigger threat than COVID-19. They are injected with pesticides, there is urea, there is growth hormones, and there is toxic substances. So all these things are going into our bodies along with the milk. So whether you're eating paneer, whether you're consuming chas, whether you're having your chocolate milk, you're consuming all these ingredients along with the milk. So we are going to go off dairy, we are going to go plant-based, we are going to go off packaged food. So even if it is that khakra, if you read the label of that khakra properly, it also has palm oil sometimes. Any packaged food that you take will be having preservatives. It mostly will be having colors. There are a lot of ingredients, the meaning of which we don't know, but they are just alternative names for something more dangerous. So we are going to go off that packaged food. So this is the third thing. And the fourth one is we are going to try and eat as much organic, as much whole as possible. So with whole I mean no oil, because oil is pure fat, it is no fiber. If it is lakdi ghana, whether it's cold pressed, it still comes in a bottle. So if you think that you need the oil in your system, have whole peanuts. Make that tadka, use mustard seeds, make that tadka, but without the oil. The seeds are going to pop, and that is because of the oil that they contain. So you can have your idlis, you can have your poha, you can have your regular breakfast. So a friend of mine asked me in the morning whether vegan means expensive, but vegan actually, plant-based diet doesn't mean it has to be expensive. Vegan, because it has these alternatives that have come in the market, like cashew cheese and feta almond cheese. Now this needs a lot of it becomes expensive because almonds and cashews are expensive, but you don't really need more than 10 nuts a day. You can make a pizza, you can make your bread, you can make a pizza without including that cashew cheese or without including that almond cheese. And even if you do need it, you can always make it at home. You don't need to buy expensive vegan stuff. So this is what I'm talking about. It need not be expensive. Close to nature also what I mean by close to nature also means not using your beauty products. A lot of times we slather so much of that sunscreen, so much of the foundation, so much of the lipsticks, and these also many a times contain chemicals. So what we are going to do is refrain from using any beauty products on our skin. Just let the skin breathe. If you want, you can massage it with coconut oil, make packs out of besan and maybe rice flour, coffee, sugar scrubs. Use all of that from your kitchen. You have the whole kitchen to ourselves. So this is what we are going to do for the next 7 days, and I hope you all are in. If there are any doubts, you can DM me and I'll tell you whatever I know. Few things to remember. Don't peel your carrots, cucumber and the beetroot. Eat them as whole. Don't mix grains because multigrain is a myth. Just stick to one grain at a time. Start your day with a nice glass of ashcord juice or coconut water if it's available. Ashcord is petha or kola. You can chop it, take the seeds out, just put the pieces in the blender, and just it doesn't have any taste. You can just have it and it will suck all the toxins. It will cleanse your system. So it is a good way to detoxify the body. Don't have anything for a couple of hours after that. Then you can have your green juice smoothie, in which you can combine one fruit and one green leafy vegetable along with dates or raisins if you feel like. So that smoothie will keep you full till lunchtime. Around lunchtime, whatever your time is, have a proper lunch, that traditional proper lunch, but without adding any ghee or chas to it, and try to cook your vegetables in an iron kadai or a mitti ka kadhai instead of aluminium or teflon or any non-stick bartan. Try to, because even if you're bringing organic fruits and vegetables into your house, it matters if you are cooking it in an aluminium. It's going to lose all its ingredients, plus it's carcinogenic. So these are the things you need to remember. Replace your teas with green teas. Make your own lemongrass tea. Just add a few strands of lemongrass. You can just switch to whatever ingredients you like. You can add ginger, you can add cinnamon. You can just go out and experiment with all the things that are available in your kitchen. In the evenings, try to finish your dinner by say 7:30 or maximum 8, so that you can do your fast for the next 12 to 14 hours. So try to keep that body empty for the next for at least 12 to 14 hours. So what I usually do is I finish my dinner by 8 o'clock and I have my first meal at around 11 the next morning. So for 15 hours a day, I try to just have water if need be, but I try to restrict myself, even because once you go to sleep you're not going to need anything. So 12, or maybe you can begin with 10 to 12 hours in a day. You shouldn't, in the night preferably, because day you need that fuel into your system. So 12 hours a day in the night, you're not going to have anything. 10 to 12 hours. So if you're having your dinner at 10 o'clock, till the next morning 8 o'clock, you're not going to have any food. You can have water if you feel like. So let's get closer to nature and let's stick to this challenge for the next 7 days. You can message me, you can ping me, please feel free to call me if you have any doubts, but let's do this and motivate each other. Thank you so much, guys.